Welcome to Watch It or Don't. I'm Matt with Tom and Dan, and today we're reviewing the newest James Bond film, Spectre. We just came back from the theater, so we got the movie glow on us. Sam Mendes directed it. Daniel Craig is back for this one. He was just in Skyfall.
This is his fourth.
Yep, and he is contracted for another one. Say what he might if you've heard in the news.
Right.
Yeah, so he's contracted. And this is James Bond following all the other films. I mean, it really did kind of play in line with that.
Yeah, the plot is based around this evil organization called Spectre. If you've seen the old movies, you might be familiar with it.
Right.
Yep. They're kind of going around the world and doing some bad stuff.
The perpetual thorn in Bond's side.
Right. So Bond is kind of infiltrating them. There's a lot of Bond women that he meets.
Right. As usual.
Yep.
Per usual.
There's obviously MI6 with M is Ray Fiennes reprising the role.
He was fantastic. Q's great.
Q played by Muncha. Yep. It's a Bond movie.
It is a Bond movie.
You know what you're going to get with this. Sam Mendes directed it, same director as Skyfall, so there is some continuity there. There is continuity within the 4 Daniel Craig films. Maybe less so Quantum. They kind of wrote that one out a little bit.
It was mentioned.
It was like a wink and a nod.
It was.
Which is interesting. I want to see how you guys feel about that. So basically in this movie, they kind of tie back all the villains, all the girls, all the events of the past 3 movies.
It's all connected.
All connected, which is, it's something in the world of building franchises these days. You know, like the Marvel is always about connecting things.
Right.
But
a shared universe.
Bond before this has never really been about that. There's been a few little tie-ins here and there, but for the most part, every Bond film is its own thing. This one relies on a lot of the first 3. How do you guys feel about that?
I'll let Tom answer that first because I have a very big opinion.
It's fine to do that, especially with these Bond movies. I think there's a pretty safe assumption that the people that are seeing Spectre have seen at least 1 or 2 of the others. I don't think it's a great way to go about making a movie, though, and this is the problem with a lot of movies, is that, you know, when they're made for sequels, they kind of get a little too
convoluted.
Get bogged down.
Yeah, and I mean, you sacrifice a lot of the kind of integrity of that solo movie, even if it is part of a franchise, you know. And with something like Bond, you don't really need to sell people on more Bond movies. They're going to go see them, so it's like you didn't need to do that.
That's fair. Well, I'm very much of that fan theory that James Bond isn't one person, but it gets carried like a code name. That's a belief, and you could still do that. Even if looking at these movies, like, it still works. It's a lot more convoluted now, that's for sure. But all in all, I don't really mind.
So the continuity thing, we're a little mixed on it. I personally didn't love it. One of the things I love about James Bond is any newcomer, and the reason it's lasted 50 years is because any newcomer can jump in at any point.
Right.
I feel like this one might be a little hard one to jump into. I mean, you'll still enjoy it, but in terms of the actual plot moving forward, you might have to see the first 3 movies, which is not something you usually have to say for a Bond movie.
Right.
Yeah, I think that you could still go into it and have a good time. I mean, again, when you go into a Bond movie, you're expecting car chases, gunfights,
you
know.
So let's talk about the actual movie besides the sequel plot of it.
Okay.
I will say the movie opens with a scene in Mexico City, and it opens with a great shot. The actual first shot of the movie lasts about, 4 or 5 minutes.
Something like that.
And it is intense.
Very impressive.
The music is great to go along with it. It's just, it puts you in the scene. Unfortunately, for me, the movie never topped that shot. And I wish it could have. So the first scene, obviously, I think is awesome. But the rest of the movie, it hits its beats. You know, there's a car chase. There's a running scene. He meets a couple of different women. So let's talk about the villain in this.
Well, I was just saying one thing because you mentioned the women. There's this whole hubbub of, oh, she's the oldest Bond girl. She's really honestly not in the movie that much. I don't think that's a huge spoiler, but for such a big deal they made about it.
We're talking about Monica Bellucci.
Yeah, she's barely in the film, in my opinion.
Did they make a deal about that?
Well, that was in the news, like, she's the oldest Bond girl of all time.
Anyway,
it's like, okay.
Speaking of barely in the film, the villain, Christoph Waltz, obviously from Inglourious Basterds, Django Unchained, German actor, very talented. I think he's made to be a Bond villain. Like, just his acting style, his look, he fits perfectly. And I think he does a really good job in this. I think he's menacing, but also kind of quirky.
Well, that's him.
Yeah, it fits the old classic Bond villain aesthetic.
Right.
My problem with him is I checked Tom's watch while watching the movie. He has one little scene in the middle of the movie, but then he doesn't really appear in full form until about an hour 45 of this movie, which is fine. But if you want to build this complete tension throughout the movie, it's like you have this great villain, and you don't introduce him until the very end, and then he's kind of already wasted by that point.
Yeah.
Well, he's a great actor. His whole character is supposed to be somewhat mysterious, so it doesn't bother me that we're not constantly seeing him, because he is sort of that like bad guy from the shadows, and supposedly he's been in the shadows for the last couple of films, so that really doesn't bother me that we don't see him that much.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of am with Dan on this one. He's such a strong actor that to not use him when you have him seems kind of dumb. Mm-hmm. But for the first part of the movie, you have Dave Bautista as the main villain.
He's fantastic.
And he's good. Physical force.
Mean, yeah, he's a big dude.
Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
He's my favorite henchman Oddjob character in a long time.
Yeah. No,
he's amazing.
He was great.
All right, let's jump into ratings and then let's kind of rate this movie on the other 4 Bond movies.
Sure,
I think. So,
sure.
Why don't you guys go first? I'm a little more down on this.
Oh, okay.
I'll go. So this movie to me is pretty comparable to Skyfall. It's fine. It's good. It's entertaining. It's not great. And I think I rated Skyfall a great. And for those of you that saw that, I might retcon this a bit. And,
you can go back.
Say they're both good. Good and a half, maybe.
Do you think because they were so connected that dragged down the other one a little bit, or no?
No, I think I was just being generous.
Okay.
With Skyfall.
It was the mood.
They're fine. They're entertaining, and I enjoyed it. It's just not.
Okay. Just didn't do it for you.
Not the greatest. Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
Okay. I personally liked it more than Skyfall. I know that's a little crazy.
We'll get into that in a second, but just keep
your rating. I'm giving my official
rating.
My official rating, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. I'm giving this a 7.1 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It's a Bond movie. I had a little fun. There's some good action, but it's not the best Bond movie. It's pretty mediocre, I think. The villain introduced way too late. Tried to tie too many things from the movies. And overall, just the whole pacing. I was checking my watch at the end. It's a 2.5-hour movie. Didn't need to be that long.
Will you let me backpedal a little bit on that one, though?
Yeah.
I do want to bring that back. Because, I did give Casino Royale 4 stars.
Yep. So
that's 8. And, well, when I change it anyway. But it's kind of the same to me as Casino Royale. More so than the ones in the middle.
So you think this is just as good as Casino Royale?
I would say it's okay, they're both 4, but where I put it above,
okay, so
it's tough. And then it's really hard to compare it to the older ones, because where are you going to put that? I know, so I say it's above.
Of the 4, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, and this one, what's your top 4?
Casino Royale is far and away my favorite of them. After that, you can really toss Spectre and Skyfall in around 2 or 3, and just by default, Quantum of Solace has to be 4.
Okay. I'll do Casino Royale as the best of the 4. Then I'll give it to this, and then you get so it goes. Sorry, forgive me. Casino Royale, Spectre, Skyfall, and then Quantum of Solace.
All right, I'm gonna go Casino Royale, then Skyfall. Then there's a drop off, and then this one just above Quantum. Yeah, I just didn't love it as much. It's okay.
It was fine.
All right.
I don't know.
It's a Bond movie.
We might have bruises from fighting next video.
Anyway, we got to go. Spectre's in theaters right now. Or watch or don't. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time.